Hi, my name is Dan Reiner, and I'm here to discuss gun control and gun violence. This is a Glock 22C 40 caliber semi-automatic pistol. A lot of people believe this here is an evil weapon and that kills thousands a year. Allow me to demonstrate to you how realistic this belief is. I want you to go out and kill the very next person that walks by. Go ahead. It's all for you. You're not going to get in trouble. Feel free. No, nothing at all. This one example discredits that belief entirely. Many politicians are trying to push more laws to gun control. Did you know, according to the CCH, which is a federal tax reporting agency, that there are 73,000 pages of tax code? Yet, with all those laws and regulations between 2001 and 2010, the United States lost over $3 trillion due to tax evasion. So is the problem guns or the users? One statistic found that was as much as more than 95% of gun crimes are committed with the use of illegally acquired guns. Let's take the recent Sandy Hook shootings. The person that did that was mentally unstable. He lived with his mother, who owned several guns legally. If she had been responsible for either removing the guns from access to her son or removed the person from access to the guns, this might not have happened. Criminals break the law. That's what they do. This young man killed his mother. Pretty sure there's law against that one. Stole her guns, stole her car, transported a load of guns in a vehicle, took the guns on school property, and committed many more murders, all while breaking the law. These are already laws in place, but people break the law anyway. The lawmakers are trying to write laws that control the guns because it is their belief that it's easier to control the guns than the people. Side note, the very same day that Sandy Hook incident happened, a man walked into a school, stabbed 22 children and 1 adult. The Boston bombing was managed by using a pressure cooker and fireworks. Oklahoma City bombing was fertilizer and diesel fuel. Although new laws may be necessary, most should be with people control, not gun control. Disarming law-abiding citizens will do more harm than good. According to a study done by Dr. Gary Kleik, PhD, a professor at the School of Criminology and Criminal Justice in Florida State University in Tallahassee, close to 2.5 million crimes are prevented by armed citizens each year. Some of his other findings include, for every use of a gun to commit a crime, there are 3 to 4 cases of guns being used in self-defense of a crime. Assault and robbery rapes are lower when the victims are armed with a gun. A gun is used in self-defense to protect its owner from 2.5 million times per year, an average of every 13 seconds. That is 23 crimes prevented during a 5-minute speech. 15% of the gun defenders interviewed believe someone would have died if they had not been armed, or 167,000 people killed. In nearly 75% of the cases, the victims did not know their attackers. 50% victims faced 2 or more attackers. 25% 3 or more attackers. Only 25% of the incidents occurred away from home. At first, you may think the study was biased and written by a pro-gun fanatic with the power to be heard. On the contrary, Dr. Kleck is a Democrat, member of the ACLU, and had never supported any organization like the NRA and did not receive any funding from such organizations to do this study. There are 2 kinds of people, predator and prey. You cannot cut the antlers and hooves off of a deer that uses it to defend itself and expect the wolves to stop being predators because the victims are now easier prey. That just creates more predators. A good example of this is Chicago, well known for its very strict gun laws and its extremely high counts of violent crime and murders. On the other hand, you have places like Wyoming with practically no gun restrictions and one of the lowest crime rates in the country. Criminals are more likely to think twice before committing the crimes. They think that there is a possibility that the victim is armed and going to fight back with extreme prejudice. According to the FBI's website, in 2011 there were 1.2 million violent crimes. If you compare that statistic with the 2.5 million crimes, that would be 3.7, more than triple the current figures. FBI 2011 nationwide violent crimes was 1.2 million. Of those, murder was 13,913. Remember, the 167,000 that were prevented because people had their own guns. Rape, 75,341. Robbery, 341,000. Assault, 703,000. And TBI's website in 2011, gun violations, 6,333. Murders, 390. 7 were from rifles, 16 were hands, fists, and feet, and etc. Murders by gun was 258. Forcible rape, 1,943. Forcible sodomy, 473. The big thing in the media for the last few months is reinstating the ban on assault rifles. Some of you may remember this happening in the 90s through the early 2000s. According to the ATF, Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, that the previous ban showed so little change in the crime rate that it was practically immeasurable. Murders in the state of Tennessee using rifles, not just assault rifles, were 7. That would make tens of thousands of rifles illegal. Over 7 murders in the state of Tennessee alone. 16 murders were hands and feet, if you remember. Nationwide, 13,913 murders. 12,664 used guns of all kinds. 323 were using rifles. That's just over 2% by a rifle. Not just assault rifles, which would drop that stat even lower. The best form of gun control to prevent violent crimes is your own personal control of your own gun. The average 911 response time varied between 4 and 15 minutes. Would you be able to protect yourself in an amount of time that it takes police officers to respond to a call, or will you be added to the 2013 FBI statistics?